So,
Yeah.
use a whole bow. You have
Use the whole
about
bow.
this much bow at the tip that you're not using.
Oh,
So see if
use
you
the
can
whole bow.
see if
Okay.
you can use all of it. So I don't know if you're starting to notice it, but when you are playing correctly and your bow is sitting on the string,
Yeah.
Everything you want to have happen happens because you're allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
When we're trying to make it work and we're tight and we're forcing,
Yes.
it always feels like a constant fight with the instrument, like you're constantly kind of struggling to create the sound.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how when you learn to kind of let go
Yeah.
and just let the bow sit and be guiding the bow
Be
instead
guiding.
of making the bow work,
Yeah.
right? Then everything starts to work. I mean, it just
Yeah.
happens, right?
Yeah, it just happens.
So that's a lot better. I mean, overall, everything that you're doing is a lot better.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the basics. I think what you told me is just to have the right technique,
Yeah. It's,
relax.
yeah.
And
Good.
you told me last time to move up, so I'm trying to do that. Yeah, still touch.
I'm gonna turn my keyboard on so I can
Okay. Yeah.
play with you.
Yeah, the challenge is to be in tune.
So I don't know if you hear it, but you're just a little flat. It's not in tune. It needs to go just a little higher. There you go. Go ahead. It's really out of tune.
Out of tune.
Now you're in tune.
So how can I find the right tune when I change it?
Use your clear tune. I mean, use your phone. You know, with your tuner.
Oh, use that tuner.
Use your
So
tuner.
from here I say so, la, si, do.
Yeah. So your E was out of tune. Now you're in tune.
But I'm using the fourth finger, I can get in tune. But the first finger, third finger, I can get in tune. When I get the when I go change to the first finger, so it's a struggle. So
Yeah. So don't be worried about touching here. It's not that, I mean, we don't touch, but I think you're a little bit pulling back like this in your hand when you're up here, and it's pulling your finger back in pitch.
I see.
So don't be afraid to be there, especially if you're vibrating. You'll find that you're going to be touching that a little bit in third position.
Yeah, I noticed when I come back, my finger position changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We've got another. So the thumb you want to keep as loose as possible.
Oh.
Try doing that again, and we're just going to keep this loose.
Oh.
Do you see how you're squeezing?
Yes.
Okay. So let's try to find just that first finger. Just go ahead and put it down. Okay, leave it there for a moment. So in the hand, we always have a little bit of a feeling like we're holding something round.
Yeah.
Because your hand is super,
Right.
super tight.
Oh.
So we want to try to loosen the hand. When I was teaching a lot of little beginners, I used to buy these little stuffed animals, like the little tiny ones, and I'd have them hold it in their hand like this and say, "You've got this little chick or whatever it was, and you have to be very, very gentle with it." Okay? So if you're playing, you want to feel that feeling of being rounded. See how the feeling here, soft and round, as compared to tight and this. So you have your hand like this. You want it loose. Better. Let's just do first finger for a second. See how I'm softening your hand in here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hold your violin.
Okay.
Okay, to help you. I want you to just hang there. I'd like you to play without using your thumb.
Okay.
Do you feel how this whole arm is helping you to hold that finger into the string?
Yeah.
So you don't need to be squeezing with your thumb. You have all this weight right here, and we're barely using any of it, and you have to use that to get your sound. That's it. That's much better. So what I used to do, I used to get a soft cloth or a sponge or something, and I would just lean into the wall.
Oh.
You know, so that the wall is holding you up. Because we're so worried that our instrument is going to fall.
Right.
Right? So we hold.
Yeah.
We're worried about hanging, but you want to keep this really, really loose. And then afterwards, when you add your thumb, you want to always be checking, is this loose right here? You feel that? How that's moving?
Yeah.
Because yours was clamped together.
Right. Exactly. That's the bad habit.
Yeah. So this is good, because it's worse when students do this.
Right.
But any position that is locked is not good. So that's why I try to be really careful when I talk about positioning, because everything has to be flexible. Everything has to be loose and able to breathe. So any position that is tight, that is fixed, is not correct.
It's not correct.
Even if it looks right,
Yeah.
if there's tension in there and it's being held to that, it's not a correct position. So for you, I'd like you to feel a little bit of this, not a lot, but a little bit, that your hand can be rounded. So yes, our knuckles are out this way. We're not collapsing the wrist in, but you don't want it locked out here so far that this is all tight. So you want this right here See, that's a loose feeling. That's how you need to feel when you're playing.
Oh.
So when you put your finger down, yeah, that's the kind of feeling that you want in your hand. Really, really loose. Good. And now the next habit I'd like you to